Chapter 838, Brappa! Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Podcast.
Hello.
It's your best friends back again. Hello, yes, everyone. Hello to all of you out there on the 7 seas. I bet there's actually more than 7 seas in One Piece, but there's at least 4, and I guess the grand line is 5.
There's less than 7.
There's more than 7. I'm all blue.
Maybe there's exactly 7. Maybe that's something Oda planned. There's 4 of the oceans. There's the Grand Line. There's all blue, probably.
He probably did plan that. You know, I was once reading. I read this book series, this fantasy book series. I forget the name of. It was about a bunch of sorcerers. And the author, I read in one of his interviews, said that the first thing you do when you make a grand fantasy narrative that involves traveling a planet or traveling between nations is you have to design the Earth, design the planet upon which it takes place, mark out the nations and their politics and all that stuff, and then you can introduce the drama, which very much feels like what Oda does with One Piece. Yeah. Such as in this chapter, chapter 838, Bropper, or Broper, or as it's listed on the wiki, Big Bro Chopper, which is lazy because it's
more likely.
Or
what it
in Japanese,
is.
Choniki, as in chopper, and Aniki.
Okay.
Choniki. A lot of names for this chapter, but anyway,
Proper.
it was a good chapter, and lots of cool things happened. So before we actually talk about the events of the actual chapter, well, this is kind of part of the actual chapter, but Gib, Hypocrite, as an astute One Piece reader, you are aware, of course, of the cover arcs of One Piece that it's known for.
Oh, yes, the little stories that take place on the covers of the Manga chapters.
Those are among my... I'm not going to say among my favorite things, but I love that Oda does that. That's such a creative thing to do, to just have at the start of your chapter, 1 page per chapter, just about some other story, completely unrelated sometimes to what's going on. And I noticed that this week's chapter it was the end of one of those. It was this... what was it called? The From the Decks of the World, the 500 Million Man arc, referring to Luffy's big old bounty he's got now. And this was the last, this was the last chapter of that, or it said the finale of that arc. And we saw Shanks, which is always a pleasure to see, because he's kind of the most mysterious character in the whole series. And I can't wait to learn more about him one day. But it said that, and there was him and a bunch of, Ben Beckman was there, and Rockstar, who met Whitebeard long ago, a bunch of red-haired pirates, and then last week's chapter was another, one like that. There was Yasop and some other red-haired pirates. Up. Oh, he's swole as fuck, dog. He's looking good. And, of course, Usopp's dad, as everyone should know, which is, man, it's so cool that Usopp, his dad knows Luffy, and they're both, their dads are best friends. Oh, it's the coolest thing ever. But what I was going to say is that... the name of this thing with Shanks standing there, there are all these doves in the background and shit, and it said on a certain island where a wedding has just taken place. And I was just wondering, whose wedding was that? And you know what I was thinking? I went and did a little looking, and the last chapter, there were a bunch of red-haired pirates. This chapter, there were a bunch of red-haired pirates. Nowhere did we see this one particular red-haired pirate who I suspect was getting married, and that's Lucky Roo. I bet it was that big fatty boy. Lucky Roo was getting married, and he had a big old groom suit on.
More like Cody Laru.
Yeah, the butt chugger himself was getting married. I bet that's what happened. The next time we see him, he's going to have a hot wife. That's
that would
my
be pretty
bet.
Interesting. I wonder who, though.
Lucky Roo, I don't know. Lucky Roo is this completely ridiculous looking dude. He's so cartoonish, one of the most cartoonish in the series.
The most first draft character of One Piece.
Yeah, exactly. And he was in the old versions of One Piece and has not changed at all. The only thing that's changed is that he's gotten even fatter and even bigger. That's all that's changed about that dude. I bet it was him, and I can't wait. I love that he's an important member of the red hair pirates crew. This fucking dude, who all he did was shoot a bandit once, and it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. Actually, that was kind of the most badass thing that happened, almost ever. He just straight up capped that nigga.
Killed the guy, yeah.
It was chapter 1, just shoots a dude in the head when he's just threatening a friend. Didn't even hurt anybody, was just threatening Luffy or something. Man, it was fucking awesome. One Piece is the best series ever. Okay, anyway, I loved it, and I can't wait to see the next cover arc whenever it starts.
Right.
So
now,
on to this chapter.
Actual chapter,
Yes.
So
Hey, that's part of the real chapter.
it is.
Have you know?
Right. So Cracker
Yeah.
has been revealed to be a little guy inside a big cracker biscuit guy, and it's
That's right.
with jam blood. And it's
I just on that one point, I found the fact that like when so Luffy punches the big biscuit man, he breaks open and there's a little cracker guy inside, and Luffy's like, "But wait, I saw you cough up blood." He's like, "Aha! I tricked you. It was just some jam that I used." Like, this guy's trolling as he's just fighting people like a complete asshole, and you know what? It's believable to me. I'm not even. I think it's great. I loved that detail. And even Luffy is like, dude, what the fuck? He's, okay, go on.
He's an artisan. He makes his biscuits very believable.
Oh, yeah.
One thing about this fight, though, that, like, really was intense was the fact that he used his sword and he actually did cut into Luffy's arm.
Oh, dude, that shot, he cut pretty fucking deep. That looked really
he should
bad.
be losing a lot of blood with the amount of, like, pumping he's doing with all this Gear 4 shit.
Yeah,
Now,
that was a serious bite.
It's one of those things, like, Luffy's, like, really durable, but if you slice his arm off, he's not going to be able to put it back.
He's done if he loses an arm.
He's gone.
And, in that vein, it's kind of funny. Like, Luffy losing limbs has almost been like a meme throughout the series. Like, remember at Marineford when he was going up against Mihawk briefly, and like he had a little like hockey flash to the future where he saw that if he attacked Mihawk, like both his arms would just be chopped off, and so he didn't because he didn't want that to happen. But hey man, watch out! You're gonna be. What if Luffy just had a hook on each hand? He was Captain Hook of One Piece, just double Hook Man. That would be. I guess he'd be double crocodile. I hope that happens.
Maybe he'd have to like stretch out his stumps to become hands again.
Oh, gross. Maybe he'd probably do some bullshit Devil Fruit Awakening. But what you were saying about Cracker. So I wanted to sort of amend my previous statements about Cracker because last chapter I said that like after Luffy was fighting him, I was disappointed that Luffy seemed to beat him so easily because at the end it looked like it, and you were saying that too. It seemed so fast to end. But this chapter we learned that like no, that was he didn't even beat like that Cracker armor as it turned out to be. Which by the way, those things are called. He calls them guys. By the way, pretty cool name. Just saying, pretty cool name. That's all I'm saying.
You beat one guy.
He beat one guy. It's tough to beat one guy. You can take my word for it, Hippo. But so the beginning of this chapter, he busts him, and the real Cracker comes out, and like turns out this guy is like way stronger than he seemed at first. He like Luffy does this big attack we haven't seen before, punching like, and this guy can make so many of these guys of these biscuit badasses, and like he's fucking like standing toe to toe with Luffy. He seems like he's winning right now, frankly. And I'm so glad that Luffy is having like serious trouble, has been like seriously injured fighting a commander. Because like I was saying, I did not want him to be able to just like demolish these commander dudes. That would totally defeat the narrative. The
way this is going, it seems like he's either like gonna win very narrowly, or he's gonna have to run away, or somebody's gonna have to come save him or something. And I like the fact that this is like already he's up against real like difficulty, and he's like one of the only, because Zoro isn't there and Sanji's in captivity. Like he's one of the strongest guys, and then everyone else is sort of like they have to do all the espionage. Like later in the chapter, we see Chopper and Carrot. In the thinking about using the mirrors to
which, by the way, was super cool because like when we see the actual what Mirror World looks like, it's just like, okay, Alice in Wonderland again. I see like the crazy fucked up world. It's the best.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And it's like there's the Mirror World, and then there's Brooke and Pedro who are sneaking inside one of the candy guards, and it's like everybody here, including Nami, because she's got the power over those guys. They're all going to be like doing different alternate ways to try and save Sanji instead of just punching through everything. Luffy's sort of like, he's probably going to get defeated and, well, not like killed, but like, stops in his tracks, and then Sanji's going to be saved by someone else. Hopefully Brooke. I mean, That would be the
Yes.
coolest.
Brooke needs a moment to shine. I would sure love that. Maybe they can all just have a Brooke dance party and can just Soul King it out.
yeah.
Hey, what if Big Mom's just a big Soul King fan? That could happen. I could believe it. He's famous.
But yeah, I like the fact that this arc seems to be going in less of a brute force direction. Like Dressrosa was all about
just what One
big,
Piece needs.
powerful guys punching and slicing. And this
Even
is more
when
of
that
like,
was totally inappropriate in Dressrosa, it totally didn't work. But now, it's the best. This feels so good coming off of that.
A total, like, you're out of your depth. You can't fight your way in. You've got to sneak. You've got to be sneaky. Okay, get in
It's
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
And incidentally, like you were saying, I just wanted to say that I really like that. So Chopper and Carrot are in that. They were trapped in the mirror, and like it seemed to us before that they were just like out of it, like they were just done. But they're hatching this alternative plan to use her power uniquely against her, and it's like this Alice in Wonderland theme. And and I really liked how Chopper was like, "Carrot, I just came up with literally the best plan anyone has ever had in the history of the fucking world. Now you are going to call me, Big Brother Chopper now." And she's just like, "Okay, Bropper," and he's like, "You fucking cunt, I'll destroy you." And I just like seeing Chopper be so proud for a little bit. It was very cute, very cute. And then they're doing their own thing. Huh?
Yeah, it's funny that he was like, "I've got the best plan," even though they're in this place, and it's pretty obvious that they can try out the mirrors. Like, it's not a very difficult plan to come up with. He's so proud of it anyway.
It's so. It's the best. It's humor intermingled with real development, which is what One Piece does the best.
Yeah.
And later on, we just see Big Mom talking to her hat about like, oh, what's the situation? But like her hat is like her advisor.
I didn't
her hat was
realize.
just talking to her.
I didn't realize it was a hat.
It's her hat, man. She's just looking up and it's looking down, and they're just like, "Shit, dog. We got shit to do." Her fucking hat is her best friend, and it's the coolest thing. Hey, she's the Mad Hatter. Oh, we've got a Mad Hatter confirmed. It's Big Mom.
It does make sense though. She can put souls of people into things.
Yeah, we've seen them talk before.
I wonder if one of her crew members dies, she can take the soul before he's completely gone and put it into an object.
Oh my god,
that would be pretty sad.
Hey,
but also pretty cool.
You know who that reminds me of? What about that mysterious fourth commander person who quote-unquote died or something happened to? Ooh. Maybe Big Mom did some... I don't know. There's some possibilities with that. That could be pretty cool. Anyway, nothing really important happened with her, but the little couple of pages after that was awesome because finally on Jerema Kingdom arrived Sparking Red Ichiji and Electric Blue Vinsmoke Niji. Fucking Sanji's big ass douche piece of shit jock asshole big brothers. And they're here, and oh my, like seeing Sanji like shaking knowing that they're there, like because they were the ones who really beat the shit out of him when he was a kid. Like Yonji and Reiju kind of just like watched and laughed, but these guys actually beat the shit out of him. And he seems spooked, and that makes me spooked. And I love it. It feels great. Oh, they're such fucking assholes. I want Sanji to beat the shit. We need the beta uprising now, Sanji. We're on your side. Fucking jock assholes. I hate them. They're going down.
Stupid hair that goes swish, swash.
Did you see Niji's hair? He looked like he looked right out of the fucking 60s
he looked
anime.
Like out of a Final Fantasy game.
You know who he looks like? He looked like the like the older professor guy from Astro Boy with like the retardedly massive hair. He looked like that guy. Or was it Cyborg 009? I don't know. He had stupid hair, and I would tell him he had stupid hair. He's a jerk. I don't like him.
Sparking Red, Electric Blue. Did Yonji have a name like that?
Yes, it was something green. I forget.
They're fucking Pokemon trainers.
And I know that Reiju was Poison Pink, which was cool.
And Sanji's black, but not actually.
He's black, like, also of note, all those guys have their little epithets written in katakana, I believe, and Sanji's is written in kanji, which is a thing they do in Japan.
Wow.
To differentiate. I know.
Japan.
Amazing. All right, I'm going to actually Google Yonji's. Yonji One Piece. He is the green man. with the green plan called Witch Green. Oh no, Winch Green. So he'll winch you. Watch out for that, I guess. I don't know what that means, but okay. Anyway, these guys are all fucking assholes, and it was awesome. These guys are really cool looking. Like, it's cool to have, like, evil big brothers. Like, that's a new thing for One Piece. And they're bullies, you know? That's new.
Usually family is, like, it's a cool thing, or, like, it's a... Actually, I'm trying to think of families. Most of them are, like, they love each other, but this family is all about fucking hating on Sanji.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like, think about everyone's family in the crew. Like, Luffy's had his brothers, you know, they were tight, he loved them, and it was great. Zoro, we have no idea, but Nami had Belmare, you know, fucking loved the shit. Usopp had his mom, fucking loved her. And Belmare too, who's still alive.
Frankie had Iceberg.
Frankly, at Iceberg, his parents abandoned him, but he never... I mean, he was like 9 when he got abandoned, but we never knew them. They don't matter. I would love to meet them someday, too. Oh, that'd be so awesome. I hope we meet Frankie's parents just somewhere. Probably won't. But, yeah, you know, like, family has been a really positive thing up to this point in the series, but now, bunch of fucking assholes. And it's great. I love it.
Yeah, not really too much to say about it, though. They're just here now.
Yeah, they just showed up, and I just like Sanji's reaction, and that was about it. Oh, but, you know, one other thing I happened to notice about the Vinsmoke family that you might be interested in is that I noticed that every single member, every child in the Vinsmoke family has their eyebrow swirlies curling to the left side of their face, except for Sanji's, who's curled to the right side of his face. And I was looking real closely at the last panel where you can see Vinsmoke Judge, the dad. And it's a little bit hard to tell, but he's wearing his helmet. And I suspect at one point he's going to lose that helmet. We're going to see the swirlies, and it's going to be some emotional, cathartic
You know
thing
what?
that
I
happens.
think his dad has swirlies on both sides of his eyebrow. I think that's what it is.
Oh my god, I hope that's true. Well, I don't know if that's true, though, because I was looking real close to see, because I was curious about, like, what his were like, and you could almost see under his helmet, it looked like in the center of his head, his eyebrows are just kind of normal lines, so I was thinking that maybe at the far side of both of his head, he's got swirls there, and hey, who knows, maybe the mom will have them on the inside, 2 swirls next to... I don't know. It's fun to think about these things.
Yeah, I didn't notice, though, that all the other people to the right, Sanji to the left.
Well, I mean, okay, to be fair, we haven't seen... Like, the Vinsmokes have a tendency to cover a half of their face with their hair. And so I don't think, like, we could fully see Reiju's and, I don't know, maybe one of the others. But whatever. Like, it's looking that way. It's fine. I'm sure it'll turn out that way. Anyway, fuck these guys.
Maybe that's
I can't
why
wait
they beat him up, because he had the wrong eyebrow.
Yes, because they were all to the left, but not him. He didn't like Beyonce at all, actually. I think that was Beyonce. Maybe that was Destiny's Child. I don't know. Anyway, that's about it. Any other things to mention about this chapter?
Nope, not really. It was pretty good.
Oh wait, I've got one. I remember before I was saying something about I wanted to make an addendum to my thoughts on, last chapter when we said Cracker died too fast. Yeah, I was going to say I have a slightly negative addendum. It's not really Oda's fault or anything, but remember how I was saying how, like, oh, it's so cool that, like, Cracker has this multiplication power, and it's like he went out of his way to say, like, I have a unique sword, and then, like, he duplicated it, revealing, so I thought, that, like, his power was literal duplication of things, and that the sword itself was, like, being mimicked, even though it's one of a kind. That was, in fact, not true, and he just makes swords out of biscuits. Out of biscuits.
Does he say that?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, okay, so he's holding the sword as his, like, a little man.
Maybe that's the original.
That's what I'm thinking, and then the other ones are just, like, I mean, there's nothing really that special about the sword. It's just big. So it looks like he just forms it out of crackers, like he does with or out of biscuits, like he does. God, this fucking biscuit cracker thing. He makes them out of biscuits. I don't know. So I take it back, Oda. You don't get credit for that. That was
it's
bullshit.
Just a different power.
0 out of 10 series.
It's
Try
actually kind of
again.
weird power. It seems like he just claps his hands and biscuits appear out of thin air.
This man is the... Yeah, so he clapped his hands, we saw like little puffs, and crackers just appeared, and he can control them, and... Oh, actually, this is another kind of interesting thing. He, like, went out of his way to say, like... I mean, because if you just said, I'm a cracker man, I make armor, like, you'd think that, like, okay, why can a cracker stand up to fucking Luffy's attacks? But he went out of his way to kind of talk about... And this is kind of like the jam thing. He said, like, I am a cracker fucking artisan, and I've been able to do things with crackers in recent years you wouldn't fucking believe. There has been major advancement in cracker technology... Which he basically said that shit and was like, that's why my crackers are the strongest and the toughest and the cutest and the best. And you know what? I feel like that's kind of foreshadowing maybe a little bit like how there's going to be other like Big Mom food artisan crew members who like also can do crazy shit with candy or crackers or whatever. And like this is kind of an
pretty
explanation.
Much seems how it's going to be. Like,
which is awesome. I love it. I'm stoked. But it's good. It's good that... He said that because it makes it a little more believable that like there just have been advancements in cracker technology. So all right. I was already buying it, but okay, fair enough. And that's it. Anything else?
Nope. I'm
okay.
good.
All right. Well, see you next time, folks. Here's an outro.
Hey, buddy, did you hear the news? It's
That is the outro.
review.